Laura, a 30-year-old woman, has spent years being erased by the people closest to her. Her family uses her as the financial backbone of their comfort while erasing her emotionally, excluding her from celebrations, charging expenses to her name, and masking exploitation as love. When they book an entire trip to Italy on her credit card, a trip she wasn't even invited to, Laura finally breaks the cycle. What follows isn't a revenge story, but an act of systemic liberation. She freezes accounts, dismantles dependencies, and documents every transaction. Through her ledger, Laura reclaims power, autonomy, and the ability to define love on her terms. The first sound was the scrape of my father's fork against porcelain, deliberate, rehearsed, almost ceremonial. "We've booked a trip to Italy," he said, lifting his coffee like a toast to a future I wasn't in. "Just the six of us. You understand, right?" He didn't look at me. He looked at the eggs. My family has always preferred to deliver cruelty while examining something harmless. My mother's eyes brightened with approval. Summer, my older sister, smiled, the smile of someone who's been carrying a secret and is thrilled to finally unload it. Her husband chuckled. The sound was applause for a play I'd never auditioned for. I kept my tone neutral, polite, bank teller calm. "Of course," I said. That was the script. I was always the one who understood. They dove into logistics, their voices tumbling over each other like coins spilling from a jar. Flights, hotels, Florence versus Venice. I sat still. Not angry. Just absent. Their words blurred into a hum, the same pitch I used to hear when the MRI machine scanned what was left of my leg. When the breakfast ended, they moved on, plates cleared, plans made. My name wasn't on the itinerary, but my credit card was. That night, the notification started. Rome Boutique Hotel, $524. Venice Water Taxi, $2,760. Florence Food Tour Package. I didn't gasp. I didn't text. I simply opened the banking app and froze the account. Watching the green slider turn gray felt like rainfall after drought. For the first time in my life, my silence wasn't permission. It was power. The next morning, my phone buzzed at dawn. "Why did our boarding passes vanish?" my mother texted. I typed back, "I'm not on the trip." That was all. Her three dots blinked like a heartbeat with arrhythmia, then disappeared. It didn't start with Italy. It started with small things that pretended to be kindness. Christmas Eve, the kitchen stool while the guests took my chair. Summer's wedding, a $9,800 invoice for family unity. My father's mortgage payments, just until things get better. Every moment had been a quiet erosion. I mistook being useful for being loved. I made tea chamomile, the flavor of fake apologies, and opened a blank document. I titled it the ledger. Then I began writing: phones, vault, house, mortgage, business, ledger, 7 doors, 7 keys. The list wasn't vengeance. It was an audit of survival. At 9 a.m., my mother texted again. "The hotel canceled. Fix it." I placed my phone face down. There is holiness in silence when your whole childhood was an alarm. I looked around my apartment, the prosthetic resting by the door, the steam rising from my mug, the faint hum of peace. For the first time, I realized this was what my family feared most: me alone, unneeded, and entirely operational. People think cutting ties happens all at once. It doesn't. It's surgery, deliberate, bloodless, and done without anesthesia. Step 1: phones. 5 family lines on my account. I transferred ownership to each one. "Update your payment method within 72 hours, I wrote. 3 days later, every line went dark one by one, like lights acknowledging the storm. Step 2: vault. Their passwords lived in my manager, banking, streaming, business portals. I deleted every shared access key. My father's email arrived within the hour. "Mortgage login broken. Fix it." I didn't. Step 3: the house. Their home automation ran on my licenses, Wi-Fi, locks, thermostat. I pressed suspend. The cameras blinked out, the lock reverted to manual. Not revenge. Correction. Step 4: finances. I withdrew as co-signer from the mortgage. "That'll raise their rate," the clerk said. Good, I replied. It should cost something. By evening, their digital empire had collapsed. My phone filled with messages. You're scaring us. This isn't like you. We did everything for you. But they hadn't done everything for me. They had done everything through me. And now the machine had lost its operator. Silence didn't sit well with them. Within days, the family chat turned into wildfire. Mom, your father can't pay the bills. Dad, you've gone too far. Summer, grow up. This is petty. Petty. That's what people call boundaries when they've never had to respect one. They moved to social media. Some people forget who raised them, my mother posted. Within hours, cousins commented hearts and prayers. I didn't respond. Instead, I opened the ledger. Every screenshot. Every invoice. Every "I'll pay you back." I organized, labeled, and uploaded everything to a private folder. Then I wrote one line at the top, "This isn't revenge. This is balance." When I shared the folder with 2 cousins and 1 old family friend, the truth spread like dawn under a closed door. By nightfall, Mom had deleted her post. By morning, Dad's profile was gone. Summer's boutique went dark. I wasn't celebrating. I was documenting history before they could rewrite it. That's when the knock came. They stood at my door like ghosts who'd rehearsed remorse. Mom's eyes wet on command. Summer clutched her phone, already recording the next narrative. "We didn't come to fight," Mom said. "We just want to make it right." "You don't miss me," I replied. "You miss access." Tears fell, soft, professional, hollow. Dad tried next. "Let's heal, Laura. We're family." I looked him in the eye. "You don't want healing. You want control." He blinked, lost the script. "This isn't a debate," I said quietly. "It's a verdict." Summer's voice cracked. "So that's it? You just walk away?" I nodded. "No." I finally stopped holding the door open. Behind them, the hallway light flickered, humming like static. They stayed a moment too long, expecting the old version of me to break. I didn't. When the door clicked shut, it wasn't dramatic. Just final. Would meeting frame. Sentence meeting period. Outside, their footsteps faded. Inside, I heard something I hadn't in years, my own breathing, steady and unafraid. 3 months later, peace stopped feeling like silence and started feeling like air. I woke up early now. Made coffee without checking messages. Ran by the lake with my prosthetic, the rhythm of carbon fiber against pavement sounding like prayer. I reopened the ledger once. Not to add. To rename. What love isn't. Because that's what it taught me. Love isn't obligation disguised as generosity. It isn't guilt dressed as care. It isn't "you'll understand" every time they take something from you. Love isn't debt. A week later, an email arrived from Summer. "Found a therapist. I get it now." No apology. No punctuation. I smiled, archived it. Some healing doesn't need witnesses. That evening, Noah and I watched the city lights from the balcony. He asked, "What now?" I looked out at the skyline, sharp, alive, mine. "Now I build things no one else can take credit for." He raised his glass. "To peace." I clinked mine. "To boundaries." For a moment, the night was still. Then the wind moved soft, ordinary, holy. And somewhere in the distance, a door closed that would never open again.